It is Derby week. In fact, it's actually the eve of the Derby, and who better to talk all things Kentucky Derby than with our very own Whitney Harding. David DeGuzman here in the NBC4 Digital Center. Whitney, before you were here in Columbus, you spent some time, actually quite a bit of time, in Louisville. Remind us again what years you were there.
So I was there for 5 years. I got there in 2014, like just after the Derby, and then I ended up leaving like January, I think it was 2020.
Okay, so you got to see two of the horses that won the Derby that went on to become Triple Crown winners. And you know, we had been waiting a long time to see a Triple Crown winner, so your timing is just
it was me.
Perfect.
Clearly.
Obviously, it was you. You know, I love the first Saturday in May. I love the tradition of the Kentucky Derby. And I think when you watch it on TV, you get this experience of, you know, the roses and the drinking and the infield. But for you as a journalist and someone covering it, it's probably a bit of a different experience. How would you sum up what it's like to cover a Kentucky Derby?
Honestly, by the time you get to Derby, you're just exhausted because it's been all the weeks leading up to it that are so much work. And really, we start monitoring horse races really at the start of the year because it's a point system to qualify for the Derby, and the Kentucky Derby, I should say, because you have all these other derbies, classics, and big races, grade 1 races that you are also not just learning, the horses are earning points, but you're watching to learn who these horses are. Because one of the coolest things about covering the Derby, and I had a reporter tell me this my first year there, and he was so right. He said it is the craziest cast of characters that you're ever going to experience. And it's true. It is such a close, like, not want to say close knit group, but it's a tight community in that it's not a big community. All these people know each other. All these people constantly race against each other with the trainers and the jockeys. Some of the owners are repeats, but it really is just this crazy cast of characters. And the weeks leading up to the Derby, specifically the 2 weeks after you have Thunder over Louisville, which is kind of the Derby is here kind of opener, you're at the track then every morning, 6 a.m. as the horses train. On the weekends, they do what's called their work. That is their actual, like, almost race speed type workout, really. But yeah, it's a really early morning, and then of course you have to go back to the station and report on it the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
So it is a long 2 weeks for sure.
You know, Columbus shuts down basically every home game Saturday for Ohio State football. So I wonder what it's like for the city of Louisville to have that kind of attention on them for weeks at a time every year. I mean, there must be like just a different feeling in the air when Derby week rolls around.
It is, because honestly, everybody knows the Kentucky Derby is the big race, but the entire week of Derby, there are big races. And as the week has gotten more popular, it's been really interesting to see how the days, it kind of backs up what's considered the locals day. Because it used to be today, Friday, Kentucky Oaks Day, which is the fillies race, the run for the Lilies. Well, now that's even gotten like so popular. So then you have Thurby, which is the Thursday of Derby.
I just learned about that tradition yesterday.
So Thurby has now become kind of a big day, like the locals' day. And so it's just so interesting to see how it during the week it keeps kind of backing up. And then of course you have the season opener, which was the weekend before, because it's a whole meet. It's not just Derby Day isn't the only day for racing.
Yeah.
It's weeks of racing because it's the meet. It's an entire season. So, and even on Derby Day, that's not the only race. There are races after the Derby.
Right, yeah, which we kind of forget about. I mean, there's a whole undercard. I know there's like that turf race right before the Derby, and then there's like races afterwards, but
there are.
Yeah, by then you're just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy because you have all the pomp and circumstance. You're celebrating. You're in the winner's circle. And it's like, okay, everybody, you gotta go. We have another race to get to, and those jockeys are racing that next race too.
Right, yeah.
They race so many races.
It's so insane. One of my favorite things about the Derby is something that you love, is the fashion.
Of course.
Obviously, the hats.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, what's the strategy for finding the fit, especially when you also have to, like, you know, do your job as a journalist that day?
It is actually a challenge. If you're going as a fan, obviously there's one way to look at it. But if you're a journalist and you're out there, you're running, you're sweating, you're sometimes carrying gear, like you're carrying a camera or a tripod or all of these things, and you have to there is a strategy. As a woman, the other thing is when it's the Oaks race or the Derby, the Kentucky Derby, you're on the track. So we are standing on the dirt, on the track, up against the fence, and there's people right behind you. You have to squat down so they can see, because that's important. Yeah. So imagine being a woman. What shoes do you wear to stand on the track, which if it's like today is muddy, amongst other things, because you have to walk out there and walk through the track. Imagine all the things that are there. Right. Then you have to squat. So it's definitely a strategy into what you wear, how you wear it, and all of those sorts of things. One year it was pouring. I gave up. I wore rain boots. I wore pants, and I wore a t-shirt that said, "This is my Derby dress." I just gave up. I was like, there's no saving this.
Oh man. Journalists are nothing but versatile. That is true.
You have to be.
So by the way, I grew up in New York. So like the Belmont was like the big thing. Yeah. And honestly, horse racing was like the first sport I was exposed to. I was telling people this, like I grew up like watching like off-track betting on the one cable channel when I wasn't watching cartoons. So like for some reason horse racing was just like a thing for me. But by the time they get to us, I'm rooting for the Triple Crown winner, which may have not happened if they lost the Preakness. For people in Louisville, it's this whole 20 horse field, and any one of them could come out of that being the favorite to win the Triple Crown.
It's massive. It's a massive field.
Just any memories that stick out to you in your time there? For me, it was always kind of like the names you got to know once the race ended, like California Chrome, Monarchos, and obviously, recent history, American Pharoah, Justify. For you, what sticks out to you?
Well, what's so crazy is because of the way coverage goes, I actually was only at the track for the Kentucky Derby one time. Because I always had to anchor our shows back at the station that night, and it's such a nightmare getting out of there and getting back to the station. I didn't want to be late and then have to rush. The other reason I only went one time was my first year. It was gorgeous, beautiful day, no weather issues. It was maybe a little bit warm. My husband was working for a TV station at the time, so he had a credential, and we both went together, and it was American Pharoah.
You picked a good one.
I just knew it's never going to get better than that. So I never was really bummed about not going, because I went to Oaks every year. And and like I said, by the time you get to Derby, it's exhausting. And I always enjoyed some of the parties around it. And like, that was always so fun for me as well. So Pharoah was a fun one for me. The last Oaks I reported on, there was a filly, and I was the only one to really do a preview story on her out of the TV stations. Other horse specific media had done a story. And I did a story on her, and I found out about her because the trainer's daughter is one of my friends. And this horse, it was a great horse, wasn't expected to win, and she won. And you can hear it on the video of our camera, me screaming and just being like, she won. Like, I was so excited for my friend. And then it's like I went into the winner's circle to cover it, and the family was in there, and we were all hugging, and we're walking out of the winner's circle, and her dad came up to me and hugged me, again, the trainer, and I did a one-on-one interview with him as we're walking out of It was just so much fun, because you do get to know these people. You see them like really like once a year, but you spend so much time at their barns, and you get to know like the people that work around their barns and all of these things. It really is such a unique culture.
Yeah. I love the Derby. So looking forward to it. Any maybe last minute betting tips before we go? I don't know if you have any that you've just gathered from the years you've been in Louisville.
So I'm the worst. I've never been great at the betting part, because I'm just always so focused on trying to get my work done.
It's not really top of mind for us journalists.
Right. I always have an affinity for gray horses, and one hasn't won it, and oh my goodness. If it's ever happened, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah. It's 150 years of racing, so
it is 150 years of racing. So I always have an affinity for the gray horses, just waiting for one to break through. I think that this year it's going to be an interesting field, mainly because there's obviously there are favorites, but the ones that probably would be favorites aren't allowed to race because they've been trained by Bob Baffert. So it's going to be interesting to see who kind of gets this thing rolling.
Yeah.
And I think those are the more fun years.
We're looking forward to it for sure. By the way, Fierceness is the morning line favorite, 5-2 odds, coming out of the 17 post position. And if you're looking for like a second choice, Sierra Leone, 3-1 odds.
Names.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
treat it like March Madness.
We're
Go by
not
your
trying to
favorite
hide
name.
anything. We are
Go
not
by your
experts
favorite-
here.
Go by your favorite silks colors.
That's how I should go
Go
about
by
it.
your favorite numbers. Like, have fun with
Exactly,
it.
exactly. That's what I do. And then whoever wins, you have a horse to root on for the rest
Very
of the
true.
Triple Crown. Whitney Harding, thank you for the insight. By the way, the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby you can watch on NBC4. It's basically all day, but the race around like 6:20, 6:30. I mean, just keep us on all day.
That's a good plan.